So we've reached the final workshop on your brand strategy. This is the last workshop that we're gonna do before we conclude on your brand strategy. So in this workshop, we're gonna focus on your brand's character, which really is like the personality of your brand, or the personality of your salon business, spa business, barbershop business. You know, the personality and the character of your brand. A good way to think about this is like, if your business was a person, who would it be? You know, would it be a guy? Would it be a woman? You know, what type of, accent would that person have? How would he or she behave, right? So you can really think about your business as a person. I think that will help you a lot as we go through this exercise. And why is this important? So why should we even, bother about a brand character? So first and foremost, your brand's character should really guide all the executions that you do as we start working on your brand identity. So that's things like the language and tone of voice that you're using when you're writing copy on your website, for example, or the music that you play in the salon, or the colors that you use when you create your logo or other visual assets, other executions of your brand identity, textures, visual expressions, everything really should be guided by the character of your brand. The other benefit of having a clear brand character is also that it creates more of an emotional connection with clients. Because in the end, people, they don't want to do business with businesses. They want to do business with people and persons. And that's why you want your brand to kind of feel like a person, have its character, and, be unique in its own way via your brand character, which is what we're going to define here. So, just to kind of get a little bit more concrete here, if we look at some examples of brand characters or characteristics, that could be things like sincerity. If you're down to earth, you're honest, or excitement, so daring, spirited, imaginative, or competence, you're the reliable, you're intelligent, successful, or sophistication, which could be more that your character is upper class and charming, or ruggedness, which is more like the outdoorsy and like tough type of character. So there's a lot of different like characteristics that you can use as you kind of think about your brand and in terms of how you want that personality, that character to be perceived. So the way we're going to do this when we start working on your brand character is really to, start with just finding a few adjectives that can describe the personality of your brand. So just find a few words, go to Google or another source for inspiration as well. Just to find some of these words that you think kind of would, fit with the character of your brand that you want to have. And then you can like pair them together in a short paragraph where you can kind of write this out more as something that really describes who you are using these words. And as you do this, I think what's important is to have your target client in mind. You have that description and maybe even that picture from the target client workshop. Have that in front of you to make sure that like the way you create your brand character, how you want your brand to be perceived, also resonates with her. So it's quite likely also, like if you have a business already, you have a brand character, like it or not, there will be a brand character already existing. And that goes for most part of your brand, that there is, even if you haven't made a conscious choice, you already, have made a choice. Or the choice has been made for you, let's say, by just like running your operation. So, if you already have that, you might already have an idea of what you want your character to be like. So just like take that and summarize that in a short paragraph. I included an example here, which could be, Salon X is rebellious and thrives on challenging contemporary norms. She's imaginative, always up to date, and speaks from her heart. It could be like endless of different examples here, right? But you see what I'm doing here, just trying to like pair up these descriptors and adjectives of the personality of your brand, and just like make that into a paragraph that actually like you can understand as you read through that, like, okay, now I understand what type of personality this is. Because when you then have that, this will guide you in a lot of the different things. You will see that when we start working on your brand identity, that this will be a very helpful tool for you to have. So without further ado, let's get the workbook out and let's start working on the last part of your brand strategy, which is your character.